Darryl, it's great to see you, man. It's been a long, long time. How have you been holding up, man, as I've been calling the new world that has taken over us for the last year and a half? I know, uh, with the music industry, just the industries in general, man, everybody's been affected by all this.
I got to be honest that I'm busier than I've ever been before, and it's just volume right now. Everyone's online. There's more emails than ever, more messaging than ever, more questions, more events. I literally was on a panel for a conference in Spain on Wednesday, and then an hour later talking to people in Portland, and then talking to people in Chile. It just seems nonstop right now, and I'm excited. It's sometimes draining, but it's exciting because I think whenever there's this kind of change, that just means there's new opportunities, and I'm excited about that.
And you are somebody who is not just about opportunity. You give opportunity to other folks because what we're going to be talking about is what's really important, indie week, man. And to me, that is an international stage for artists from around the world, and what you and the folks who work with you have been able to do has been amazing. Like I said, not just for Canadians, for artists around the world. For folks who don't know what indie week is, what is it exactly? Because it really is one of the most important times in the music industry.
Well, it's changed because of COVID, and I think it's actually, like I said, it's exciting. So we're normally an in-person festival with a conference, a showcase festival, and we normally have about 240 acts from around the world come and play in 24 venues downtown Toronto, and it's crazy. 4 a.m. late nights, and then up early doing B2B meetings and stuff. And then COVID hit, and we took Indie Week online, and that was last November. And since then, we just saw a possibility in the online space. And so we've actually are now producing our fourth online conference since this all started. And that's next week with Music Pro Summit. And so we've got Indie Week, that's very international focused. We have Screen by Screen in February, and that's music and tech. So VR, AI, blockchain, live streaming. Indie 101, it was April, and that's like emerging artists and businesses. And Music Pro Summit is really diving deep into discussions like TikTok influencers, growing audiences. Uh, we've got the author of Work Hard, Playlist Hard, like really how to get your song onto playlists. The author of Twitch for Musicians, so building an audience on Twitch, because that's one of the best places that we're finding where people are making money from live streaming. So we're going into like real in-depth conversations, and we've got tons of great people. Uh, because we're online, we're able to have access to higher level speakers as well, like Live Nation, Chartmetric, Museo. We just confirmed the manager from Stone Temple Pilots. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like everyone's online and they're willing to share their knowledge, and it's exciting.
I think also is because we don't have to get up, go on a plane, fly over to a hotel. I mean, yeah, the one on one thing I miss, but at the same time, too, the fact that we can do this the way we're doing it, and I don't have to be lugging a camera around to the other side of the city to do this, does make a big difference. So I do enjoy that. So let's look at this for this one now. So
Yeah.
here I am. I hear about this Indie Music Week. What exactly? Let's go over it again. What exactly is going to be happening? How many days? How's this part going to work?
Well, just to make sure we're clear, Indie
Yeah.
Week is in November. Music Pro Summit is September 8th
Okay.
to the
So
11th.
Music Pro Summit. Okay.
Yeah, produced by Indie Week.
Produced by
And
Indie Week.
yeah, so Music Pro Summit is like I said, higher level discussions. Often at conferences, you get kind of like the surface discussion in a quick panel where we've got presentations and we've got people talking about how to really get results. And then because it's online, we also have like B2B breakout rooms online so people can actually talk to some of these music professionals. Uh, it's like I said, it's quite amazing, and we've been getting just nothing but positive feedback. and it's been interesting because some people have been worried about, Zoom fatigue and things like that. But the feedback we've got is it feels like a conference. Like the way we've programmed it feels like a conference, and the results have been great. Like like you said, I've been getting messages all week of artists thanking us for the work that we've done. I just was reading a message like an hour before this. An Indigenous artist who's now I consider a friend, Matt James, connected with a producer, Brian Moncars, and then is now working on the mastering of a recording that they've done together with people from Our Lady Peace involved. And that's just from a meeting at Indie Week. So yeah, it's cool to see those results, and often we hear about them way after it's been done, but it's cool.
Has the Well, you kind of talked about the focus, but I want to look at, this is always important and everything else, but because of what we've gone through in the last year and a half, has the importance even, grown even more? Because, for the longest time, there were people, we couldn't get into venues. People weren't performing. I mean, yeah, they were doing it online, but it wasn't the same as being able to jump into a van and travel somewhere and perform at a venue. I mean, it was completely different. How important is these type of conferences now in helping somebody basically maneuver around the new world?
So important. So, I'll give us a little bit of a personal story. So my other side gig for a long time was digital graphics, like Photoshop and doing websites. And I was teaching Photoshop around 2002, 4 to photographers. And a lot of them were doing it just because they had to as part of the curriculum. And they're like, no, I don't need to know this because I'm going to do it all in the dark room. And I was warning them, saying, I don't know how much that's going to exist the way the digital space is coming for photography. And sure enough, a few more years later, everything's digital. And so I see this is kind of where music is starting to go. And it's like, now's the time to learn about the digital space so that you're part of it, because things are changing. And I've had a lot of discussions of people like, well, I'm waiting it to go back to how it was, or I'm hoping to do this. And, where our strength has been is that we've invested 100% in online conferencing while we're in this phase. A lot of people we've talked to have plan A, we're going to do it live in-person event. Plan B, it's a hybrid. Plan C, it's going to be all online. Plan D, we're going to change the dates. And plan E, we're going to cancel. And I was like, wow, that's a lot of planning to do the one thing. So we're just like, no, it's all online. I've got a plan A and that's it. And we've been agile because of embracing this new world, embracing the change. I think we've done a very good job at producing quality events online. And the connections that have happened can attest to that. So if anything, if you're in the music business, digital is here to stay, and it's important to educate yourself on how you fit in this new world. There's many, here's where I think is daunting, and I think this is what might be overwhelming for some people, is that the online space is literally anything you think of it to be. And if people go, well, what do you mean? What can I do? Anything. And when you tell somebody they could do anything, it's hard for them to pick the one thing they should do, right? So it's kind of like if you've ever watched Kitchen Nightmares with Gordon Ramsay, and he goes in the restaurant, he's like, look at this menu. It's a book. Like, what are you, pizza? Are you steaks? What are you, seafood? And he rips it all apart and he goes, look, I've ripped it down to a one-page menu. You have 4 apps, 3 entrees, and 2 desserts. And that makes it easy for everybody to decide. And I think that the online space, it's just so wide open. People are afraid to just dip their toe in and get started. And we're trying to present all of our content as a positive light. Everyone's welcome. You can be successful. And here's information, and here's people to connect with, and here's help. And what's been so rewarding, and we didn't know this would happen, One thing to other also plug is we also started an Indie Weekly series, which every Tuesday at 4, we have a free discussion with music pros. Everyone's welcome. And it's turned into a community, like a community. Some of the same people, like we've got this base of people and they're great. They show up to everything. And it's amazing. And they talk to each other. Now they're friends and they're collaborating. And one of them met people from around the world at one of our online conferences and has like, you know, gang backup vocals and stuff, has 24 artists from around the world that have sent in their gang vocal. And now he has a recording that he's able to promote as 24 people from around the world, from all these countries. So, you know, if anything, it's find a place online that you feel comfortable. And I think that's been in the real world too. Like, what venue is your venue? Don't be a solo artist and try to headline Lee's Palace unless you can bring 450 people, you know, start at the Cameron House, things like that. But, you know, we're trying to be positive. We're trying to be a community and everyone's included. So very cool, I'd say.
And I got to say, anybody who thinks we're going back to way things were, my personal opinion is it's not going to happen at all. This is where we're going, and what you're doing is you're opening the door for everybody, and you're making it comfortable. And I think that's so important for people to be able to survive through this. So, how do we get involved? What do we do? Do we go online? Of course, online. Where do we go to get to be part of all this?
So our main site is indieweek.com, but we have a site for Music Pro Summit. Our Instagram is really active. So if you look at Indie Week on Instagram, we're always posting stuff there. And if anyone just wants to like DM me or reach out, always welcome. You can Google Darryl Hurs and I'm easy to find. So I'm always open for a conversation and such. So, and if I could add one thing that
Yeah,
I think
please.
has been very meaningful is that online, you know, there's no discrimination. And what has been really rewarding is the messaging that we're getting is our audience, like we survey and we get feedback, but people who have accessibility issues have been able to tune in. A lot of Toronto venues have stairs and they were not able to attend, but they are now tuning in. And we've been able to take some feedback on how to make it better as an experience. And then as well, the age demographic has increased. Younger people to older people are tuning in. We were getting messages of some people in their 70s that are still writing songs and performing, and they're tuning in and participating. So, and we're active in conversations about race and diversity. The Indigenous community is very important to us. So this is the one thing that I love about online is that there's no barriers, right? And accessibility, we're still working on a few things, and language translations, yes, we're still working on some of that. But I think that that's such an important thing to mention is that, again, everyone's welcome, and it's been great to see. So
Can you give us a little hint in what's going to be happening in November? A little sneak peek.
yes, so November so Indie Week is the hub. So all of the conferences lead to Indie Week. And so we're going to have 7 music markets around the world. So delegates and conferences, festivals from all these places around the world. We're working on artist showcasing, business development, education, networking, B2B meetings. It's kind of like the hub. It's all going to be taking place at Indie Week. November 9th to the 13th is the dates for it.
Early Christmas present for a lot of folks, man. Looking forward to it. My friend, thank you so much for the interview. Thanks for helping out with this, man, because like I said,
so many interviews that I've done in this last year and a half and talking to artists, and a lot of them were scared, just not knowing how to maneuver around. And what you and your folks are doing is helping people be able to maneuver and understand and be prepared. Because if you think things have changed now, they're going to change even more as we go along. 2022, 2023, yeah, a lot's going to change. And you're one of the folks who are helping us get through all of this, man. Thank you so much for all of this.
Thank you so much, Rudy. Always so good to talk to you, my friend.